Hey guys, happy Tuesday. Yay, it's Tuesday. It's 1:15 a.m. So I know that every YouTuber and their mother is doing stuff on the Calumet County. I'm not even going to touch that yet because there's bigger stuff. And I'm really excited about this. Lynn Johnson, my right-hand girl, had brought it to me a while ago. And I didn't really see the impact of it or how important it was. I took a break today and started going through it. I was like, oh my God. So before I even get started, I have to give an apology to Dave Pagoda and Mark Addy because they might be right. That it's something bigger than what meets the eye. And here's why. I also have a video to show at the end, so stick around. I couldn't figure out how the fuck to mesh them together, so just follow the timeline. On 1/25 of 2002, Carmen was busted for drug paraphernalia. She paid her fines on 4/2. Judge Willis was the presiding judge. Looked like Judge Willis did all of her except one. Michael Griesbach was a prosecutor. If you're not familiar or you're new to the story, oh, sorry about that. Judge Willis did Stephen Avery's trial, and Michael Griesbach wrote this fucking retarded book called The Innocent Killer. I heard it was awful. It got like horrible reviews. Even Kratz said the guy was an asshole. So with that, at this time, and you have to keep this date in your mind. I mean, this address in your back of your mind. Her address is listed at 1214 South 19th Street, Manitowoc. That was in 2002. Okay. On 10/03 of 2003, she's busted again for pot or a bowl. She's ordered to show up in court. Initial appearance on November 3rd of 2003. Kind of odd with the dates. She pleads guilty, no contest. Judge Willis gives her a slap on the wrist. Now, from what it looks like, Carmen always showed up to court, and she always pleaded either guilty or no contest. But she did always show up. She didn't pay any of her fines, but she showed up. On January 14th of 2005, she got busted again for pot. Pot charge was dismissed, and once again, Judge Willis gave her a fine. Hit her for the bowl, but didn't give her a fine for the pot. Now, this was a little under 2 years since Judge Willis saw her and fined her. So if there was a warrant in 2005 from her previous charges, the odds of the same judge in the same court in the same town not noticing, considering you've seen it like 3 or 4 other times, it's slim to none that they wouldn't notice if they were going to put out a warrant. But here's where it gets even weirder. At the time of 2005, her address is listed 810 South 19th Street in Manitowoc. On 9/20, her address is updated to 1214 South 19th Street in Sheboygan. Now, why am I stressing this address? Remember the address I gave you before, back in 2002? 1214 South 19th Street, Manitowoc. Now she's at 1214 South 19th Street in Sheboygan. That's 45 minutes away. That's for a violation from 8/14. She was charged with 2 charges. They were both non-criminal, and she just needed to pay fine. She pleaded no contest on 9/20, meaning she showed up for court, and that's when her address is updated. So in September, she lives in Sheboygan. On 10/11, which is October, which is after this, October 11th of 2005, her address is updated again to 1214A South 19th Street in Manitowoc for a violation on 7/25 of 05. Okay, I'm going to go over that one more time. In 2002, her address is listed at 1214 South 19th Street, Manitowoc. On 9/20, her address is updated to 1214 South 19th Street in Sheboygan. On October 11th of 2005, less than 20 days later, her address is updated to 1214A South 19th Street, Manitowoc, for violation on 7/25. Unlike her other records, the 9/20 doesn't show the violation date. But after further looking, it shows that 7/25 of 2005 was when she got arrested. Now, here's where it gets even deeper. You can easily conclude that, okay, maybe they just put in the wrong town. I don't know how you'd put in the wrong town, 45 minutes apart, but I'll give you that. The aluminum foundry is 2 minutes away, less than 2 minutes. The address for that is 838 South 16th Street. She's at 1214 South 19th Street. Got to be less than 2 minutes. But the other thing that's interesting about the date of 10/11, there's a couple of things interesting about 10/11. Now remember, this is 10/11/05, so this is the month. Is that if you look at the paper, the court paper, which is right here, it's out of order. You have 10/02, 10/03, 10/10, 01. I may be right because I'm reading this backwards. But I see 01, 10/10. Then you have the 8/15, which doesn't even have a birthday in, which is kind of weird. And 10/14 is stuck under the 9/1, which it shouldn't be. So I'm going to attach all this. Plus, I made a video that's going to show all of it. And the one on 7/25 is a felony charge of THC. But yet, our wonderful prosecutor that's prosecuting the case, for some reason, is not Willis. Well, guess who it is? Rohr. If you're not familiar with who Rohr is, he was directly named by Stephen Avery in a lawsuit. In the $36 million lawsuit, he was a direct hit. He miraculously dropped charges against Carmen. Now, how do I know that there wasn't a warrant for Carmen from the tickets from 8/15? Because obviously there's none in Manitowoc. Why did they pick her up for this date on 7/25 when there's absolutely no arrest record? Is very interesting in itself, because what do you think, again, what do you think the odds are of living at the same address, at the same house number, in two different places? It's not going to happen. It's literally almost slim to none. But I know that they didn't make a mistake, because she had gotten in trouble and got 2 fines, which were both non-criminal. And she actually didn't even have to show up to court for any of them. That says no, she didn't have to show up for court. Whoop. And it also shows that it was operating while revoked. And another one, but as you can see very clearly, it says these are non-criminal charges. Well, maybe not clearly. But these are non-criminal charges, and she does not need to show up for court. And that was on both of them. But these were both in Sheboygan, and they have her address in Sheboygan. Now, it gets even weirder. So, if you go further back, her charge earlier in the year for Manitowoc was for possession of pot. It was entered on January 14th of 2005, even though it actually happened on December 8th of 2004. Her initial appearance was on 2/7/05. She either had to do 6 days in jail or pay the fine, whatever. So you can conclude, okay, she didn't pay a fine, so therefore a warrant was issued. That's logical. However, if it's not the case, and how do I know this? Because check it out. On June 5th of 2006, they were about to start legal proceedings and then learned that she was dead. They verified that she had died. So if she was picked up on a warrant and did her 6 days in jail like they supposedly said, then that would have satisfied her obligation and it would have been removed from her record. They wouldn't still be chasing her down, because the judge told her you either have to do jail or you have to do time in jail. Her charges that Rohr had were dropped on 9/21, which was on 10/21, which was before November 3rd when she died. Carmen was never arrested for anything on 7/25. Why did they add this to the file later? Now, you can say it happened like the 7/25, but nowhere in a record does it show an arrest. nor is a warrant ever issued. All charges are thrown out by Rohrer on 10/21. So all that happened before the 31st. Tell me what the fuck happened to Carmen. There was an article to come out in 2014, which supposedly was from her mom. What I find interesting, I've said this all along, is that 2014, when the article came out, is the exact time frame that Making a Murderer producers were looking for a deal. From 2005 to 2014, not one article, not one mention of anything had ever come out about Carmen. Why that month? Why in 2014 all of a sudden does this article come out proclaiming her death? It takes approximately, I would say, 8 to 10 months to sign a deal, at minimum, to land a production deal. It doesn't take a brain surgeon to realize that Carmen's death was planned. The question is why? Why some local young pothead? It's also been said that there were glasses found on the scene, and Teresa didn't wear glasses, but Carmen did. Here's a couple of questions to roll over in your head, which it sounds crazy, but it's not. Most 25-year-olds smoke pot. Most 25-year-olds in the Midwest smoke pot. I'm not saying they smoke it every day, but it's an occasional thing. So I'm not trying to stereotype Ryan and Scott, the ex and the roommate, but they don't exactly look like, good old boy nerds. They look like they could probably smoke pot. So are the police in Manitowoc killing potheads for some obscure reason? I mean, is someone selling them pot and killing them? Maybe getting them in trouble? I mean, who knows? Maybe Colburn's selling pot. Nobody knows. And I know it sounds totally crazy, but think about it. Why target Carmen? And I'm, like you guys know, I'm so not into conspiracy theories. But to see Rohrer on the presiding attorney when Willis has handled it since 2002. And then she gets this invisible warrant that doesn't even exist on her record. So the thing that really wowed it for me was the address. There is no way in holy hell that you can live at the same address and the same phone number in a town 45 minutes away. And they got her. Why her? I don't know. But it really made me sit back and think, did they fucking kill her? Was this part of a master plan? It's just whacked. My only final question for her is, did she wear Daisy Fuentes jeans? The reason I say that is what came out tonight. Gina Hartfeld Race had sent it to me, and thank you, Gina. Yay, Gina. And if I didn't thank Lynn yet, yay, Lynn, she's my right-hand girl. She handed me stuff. It's late. I don't even remember if I said it before, but if I didn't, go Lynn, go Gina, you guys rock. So these rivets that were found from in the pit, that there's different paperwork that's saying, oh, these were Teresa's jeans, and her sister or cousin or somebody said she always wore Daisy Fuentes, yada, yada. Mark Wiggert had written a police report that actually showed the opposite. Yes, there was one that said that it was, Daisy Fuentes jeans, but the reality is, that was real. But the reality is, Weigert had sent it to Kohl's because supposedly that's where she got it. And they said they never made these jeans for Kohl's, so she couldn't have got it from Kohl's. That was one of those aha moments. There is absolutely no way for me to find out what kind of jeans Carmen wore, especially if they were the same size. What I can tell you, though, is that Carmen was just a pothead. Potheads don't OD. And it is possible, I don't know her, it is possible she did more. Oh, sorry. But I'm really starting to believe that this is on a much bigger scale, and that Carmen was targeted. Her boyfriend, who would hold the answers, is sitting in prison, so he's not going to give me much answers. So that's what I have for you tonight. I hope it satisfied some questions about Carmen. And make sure you stick around for the movie. And it's only about 2 minutes, but it just shows all the court documents in order. I apologize because I couldn't sync it together. And make sure you check out my website, makingitmurderle.com. Subscribe. I'd be happy to know I lost 2 pounds. Granted, I should have lost a lot more, but it's been crazy busy and I'm all swollen. But I did lose 2 pounds, so yay, 2 pounds. And I'm going to update the website tomorrow. So, or the pounds for prisoners tomorrow. And that's all I got for you. So, have a good night. I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace out. And again, stick around for the movie, subscribe, pass me around. Talk to you later. Mwah. Peace.